What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. In this video, I want to be talking about the Seahawks again. I'm just going to go over the game again yesterday and just go over on where we're at and where we need to go moving forward. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. So, yeah, like I said, that game was a complete team win. And, excuse me, we needed that win. If you hear my cat meowing, sorry about that. He's a little noisy boy. But this game we needed. And because the Rams won against the Bills, unfortunately, even though it was really, really close, they won in a shootout. So we needed this win. And like I said, Charbonnet, he was MVP of that game, like 134. He had nearly 200 total yards on the ground, or 200 total yards from scrimmage, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that should be in contention for NFC Offensive Player of the Week. So we'll see what happens. But he had an insane game. Like, this guy absolutely busted his tail off on yesterday. Had the best game of his career, showing why we picked him in the second round. One thing I do want to point out, the offense scored 24 points in the first half. Well, granted, 2 of which were off turnovers, off interceptions. But in the second half, we only mustered 6 points. And even though, like, the offense didn't turn the ball over, you want to at least have a touchdown in the second half. But you know what? That's just one little gripe I have with the offense. Otherwise, the offense played a terrific game yesterday. So I can't even, even though they only scored 6 points in the second half, you scored 30 points in total, and that should be enough to win a football game. So I'm not even gonna say that's a really a negative, because I mean, they managed the game in the second half. They didn't turn the ball over, which was good. So that's what you're supposed to do. So even though they could have scored a touchdown on a couple times. Not turning the ball over is what really matters in the end. And the offense played just a complete game. So, and honestly, after our defense got that stop and that forced a field goal, that missed field goal, granted, bounced off the upright. That right there was the moment the game ended for the Cardinals, and their season ended for the Cardinals. That I could just tell. Like, being at that stadium, after seeing that missed kick, I could just tell the energy from all Cardinals fans just left the building, like, because that was it. That was it right there. I mean, so that's it's really good to see that our the way that we play this game, and the way that we play this game really can take the energy out of the opponents. And you saw in the end, I mean, Kyler Murray, he just took that sack to end the game. Like, he didn't even... And the thing is, like, Mike McDonald, he showed no mercy. He caught a blitz on the final play. Like, and Murray saw that, and he was just like, yeah, this just isn't it. And that was just a humiliating loss for the Cardinals. I mean, back-to-back drives that Kyler Murray threw an interception early on, that cost them. I mean, that cost them the game. We didn't turn the ball over. They turned it over twice. How you win the game is you win the turnover battle, and we did. So that is huge on our part, and we did a hell of a job on both sides of the ball, and special teams did a great job of not turning the ball over this time, even though we didn't really have any returns from Darden. He didn't turn the ball over, so that's a plus. So, moving on, I'm going to go over snap counts. I normally don't go over snap counts, but I wanted to, just because, like in this game, especially with the way with our new offensive line set up, I want to kind of go over it. 100%. All of our offensive linemen played 100% on the offensive line. 100% of the snaps, offensive snaps, which is massive. The offensive line, like I said, played probably the best. Not probably, and I'll say in a second. They've played the best game they've played in about 2 years, and I'll go over that in a second. But Laumea, he stepped in, and I don't know why they have him as tackle, and I think he's playing at right guard. He stepped in and played amazingly. I mean, it's that next man up mentality. Mike McDonald saw something in Laumea over Christian Haynes, and you know what? I might have messed up. I call it if you will. Laumea he won the job. He won the right guard spot. If he plays well against the Packers next week, he solidified his spot on the O-line. Because the Packers are no joke. They're a great team. So good for Laumea, man, to come in and step in and just play his tail off. He was great in the run blocking today. He was great in everything today. So, excuse me. JSN played 97% of the snaps. Like, that guy was a menace out there. Even when the ball wasn't going to him, he was drawing a lot of attention on the field, I already know. DK had a few nice catches, like I said. And Charbonnet, he busted his tail off. I do want to take a second and talk about Tyler Lockett. Now, I said before the season I wouldn't be surprised if he took a back seat. But he has been, no offense to him, but he has been a non-factor ever since the bye, honestly. He's been a non-factor on the team. And that's it's not all his fault. He's getting older. He's slowing down. He already said that he's playing longer than he already expected. And this restructured deal could leave us an out after this year, and we could end up, he could either retire after the offseason, or we'll trade him. I hope we don't trade him. I want him to retire a Seahawk and only want him to wear the blue and green. But we got to do what's best for the team. And but I'm hoping that Lockett will understand that, hey, it's my time to go. It's my time to go. And yeah, but he has been a non-factor, and I'll actually pull up his stats. Let's go to PFF or PFR, because I don't even remember the last time he's had 40 plus yards, to be honest. It's been a minute. So let's see. So yeah, ever since the bye, because after that Rams game we had our first bye. And then he has not done anything since. 19 yards, 20 yards, 16 yards, and 0 yards. He's just having a down year, and but it's not all him. It's JSN. It's JSN's turn to shine. And he didn't get he only had one target, and it was that catch. It was that throw in the end zone. You could see his usage steadily getting lower and lower and lower as the season progresses because of JSN, because of DK. And because of other people, K9 out of the backfield, Charbonnet out of the backfield, Barner, Fant, it's not all him. It's just we have so much talent on the team. We have to disperse the ball. 511 yards. I do have to say though, I need to pull this up. I know ESPN gives me fits, so we'll see what happens here. But JSN, man, like I said, he is on trajectory to make a Pro Bowl, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he does make it at this point. He is playing out of his mind. He's at 911 yards. He is officially top 5 in the league in receiving yards, and he's only 89 yards away from eclipsing his first ever 1,000-yard season in his young career. He's 22 years old. So just keep in mind the potential that this dude has. And that means he is second in the NFC behind Justin Jefferson in receiving yards. So at this point, he's basically guaranteed a Pro Bowl spot because, there are Pro Bowlers in each conference. Because, as you can see, Jamar Chase, AFC, Jerry Jeudy, AFC, Brock Bowers, he's not even a wide receiver. He's a tight end. Plus, regardless, he's in the AFC. So he is really showing up and showing out. Terry McLaurin does have more touchdowns, though. So that could, and CeeDee Lamb, he plays in Dallas, and, Dallas is favored in the eyes of the media. And Garrett Wilson, of course. But he's in the AFC, so that doesn't matter. But, this is great to see. He is breaking out. He's having a breakout year. And he's been Geno's go-to target for the longest time. He's 12th. He's tied 12th in the league with Wandale Robinson in targets, and he's one of the best receivers in the league. So he is really out here coming into his own and showing why we picked him 20th overall. And then again, it's like a race. Who's gonna get the most receiving yards? Right now it's Geno. He had 233 yards, no turnovers, which is great. So we'll see what happens. Joe Burrow's played one last game, so he's probably gonna take over Geno today, and on Monday night, because this dude is a baller. And I mean, but the thing is, like I said, Geno he leads the league in attempts. Like, that's the reason why. But that's fine, because I mean he leads the league in passing yards, and I mean he's thrown 12 interceptions, but like I said, half of those weren't his fault. So he's top 5 in completion percentage. Like, he could potentially make another Pro Bowl, because let's take a look, because I mean he's first in the NFC. He's first in the league in yards, and which means he's first in the NFC in yards. I mean, touchdown wise, he's not doing well. I mean, he's not even. I don't even think he's top 10 in the NFC in touchdowns. So, but in terms of completion percentage, he's top 5 in the NFC in completion percentage. I mean, like, attempts is 1, but that's just attempts. Completions is what you want to look at. 224. He leads the league in completions, so that could also be a factor in him getting potentially a third straight Pro Bowl nod. But like the sacks that he's taken, he's tied 3rd with Sam Darnold. So, O-line, if the O-line can continue to play the way that it's played, like it played yesterday, like, we'll see what happens. But speaking of that O-line, like, yes, 17% pressure rate allowed against the Cardinals. That is the lowest rate a quarterback has faced as a starter for this team since Geno took over in 2022. So that's got to be an indicator of the potential this O-line has, because like I said, it is a young O-line outside of Laken Tomlinson. So, and plus it's all homegrown outside of Laken Tomlinson. So we'll see what happens from here on out, if they can repeat that performance against the Packers on Sunday. But they had an amazing game. I mean, that's why Geno completed 80% of his passes. I mean, that's he didn't turn the ball over, and he just played complimentary football. So really not much else to say there, except that it was just a perfect game from both sides of the ball. So let's see. Oh yeah, I got to go over this. I don't really need this open. The highest graded Seahawks in Week 14 versus the Cardinals. JSN's leading the way with 84.1, and then tied at first with Jaron Reed. So Jaron Reed had a great game. He was awesome in stopping the run, even though stopping those big the defense allowed 121 yards on the ground, but overall we were good at not having them have extremely long runs every single play like we used to earlier in the season. So Zach Charbonnet 3rd, Geno Smith another solid game, Rayshon Jenkins. Like, this team is, anybody can go have a great day or have a great week any week. So that's great to see. We have a bunch of ballers, which is nice. But yeah, this is overall just a solid team win. And hopefully you can continue this momentum going into next week, coming back home, winning 4 straight. Each game is a playoff game, and that's what these guys have been instilling themselves, which Coach McDonald's been instilling to these guys. So that's great to see. Because we have the toughest schedule left in the NFC West. I mean, we faced Green Bay, and then we got to face Minnesota. Those two are playoff teams right there. So those are massive games. If we can win 1 out of 2 of those games and then beat the Chicago Bears, assuming that the Rams take a couple more L's, we will win the division and have a home playoff game. So that is great to see. But I wouldn't be surprised if this Week 18 game is winner takes all. and goes to the playoffs, and then the loser goes home. So, but we can make sure that doesn't happen by winning these upcoming games. So if we win 2 out of the 3 next games, we'll be in a good spot. So finish the season going 10-7. That would be great. Hopefully, like the Rams will continue to take another. We'll take at least one more L. They just need one more L. I feel like. Actually, no, they need a couple more L's. So that I was hoping the Bills would come out yesterday and beat them, but like Puka Nacua, man, he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, and I don't know how the league didn't. I don't know how we didn't see how his potential coming into the league. So that 5th round pick, I mean, come on. That's a blunder on the rest of the league and on our part. So we'll see what happens. I'll preview that Green Bay game. I mean, it's on prime time. It's our first Sunday night game in years. I feel like we didn't have one last year, and I don't think we had one the year before, and I don't know if we even had one in 2021. So it's been a minute since we had a Sunday night game. So I'll definitely preview that game. But I think that's all I have for this video. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day. And go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.